Good morning, guys. This is Oscar with a technical analysis video for today, January the 3rd, 2023. This is the first video of the year. Let's get right to it. We're looking at a chart of Bitcoin. Now, I know this looks a little messy, but let me show it to you. Now, the price action of Bitcoin, I'm a little pessimist on the price action. Hasn't been able to get out of this downtrend channel from the highs of November of 2021. This channel has been very powerful wall for Bitcoin. Where do I think it can stop? So let me show you if my internet wants to cooperate. Okay, so this is the price action Bitcoin right now. And these lines right here that I have, these particular lines, let me show them to you, is a $13,700 mark. This also the 10,800, and this is the 8,600. Now these lines right here are the conglomeration of the price action. Now for some reason my internet is slower today. It's okay. So this price action right here, all these back in 2019, 2020 price action, all of this is the support that it has right here, the price. So I do believe in the coming months or the coming days, we're going to have probably let me show you, we're going to have probably a drop on the price, something like this. Now, could be that only to 13,000 or could be on 10,000 or 8,000, it doesn't matter. It's going to be in this area right here. Now, on this particular trades, you have to understand that none of this it can be precise. It's only probabilities and it's only percentages of where the prices can go. So now, sometimes we have the tendency of wanting to know an exact price, and that is impossible. Nobody can predict where is exactly the price going to go. So from that drop, probably it's going to go higher, and then somewhere on the next year, the price it will collapse, probably much lower than where we are right now. Now, why? If you remember in the COVID crash of February of 2020, March 2020, the price. Let me show you here. The price of Bitcoin collapsed really bad. So let's see. Let's go back to that chart. So right here. Okay, so this price action was going higher. Look at this. This was in December of 2019. Everybody was thinking that the price of Bitcoin was going much higher. And guess what? We were at $7,000. We reached $10,000. Everybody thought, okay, good deal. This is an inverse head and shoulder pattern right here. So we're going much higher. But guess what? The price then collapsed. So this type of drops, this fast from 9,000 to $3,000, $4,000 happened because there was a credit crunch. So what happened is that traders that they have positions open and the price keeps coming down, they have leverage on the trades. So when the price falls, usually the brokerage, they call them, hey, you need to bring more money. So they don't have more money to bring to the brokerage houses. So guess what? They have to sell their position. They have to close them at a loss. So this kind of a big bar right here look at this bar, from 7,000, almost 8,000, and it closed right at 4,700. This particular bar was almost a 45% drop in one day. This is incredible. So now, do I expect something to happen in the future? Probably. I don't know if it will be that catastrophic like that, but it could be. So this is what I think will happen on this particular drop here. Now, This one, it doesn't mean that it will go as high as 30,000. It may only go to 25,000. It may go and do something like this. So it depends how the price is behaving when we get to those points. So, but for now, that's all we can see right now is that the price is coming down in the next few days, but then probably will be followed by a jump higher. So that's what I expect Bitcoin to do. Now let's go and look at something else. Let's go and look at the U.S. oil. Now I'm continue being bearish in oil. Actually, I have a position open shorting oil. Where do I think oil is going to go? Oil probably is going to go to the 69, $66 a barrel, which are these prices right here. If you see these particular prices back before the COVID crash too, you have $65 right here. You see this is the top here, price action here, bottom here, and I think the price is going to go low as $65 a barrel, and then it's going to probably go something like this, same way, and then it's going to collapse again. Remember, if there's a credit crunch, everybody has to sell anything at any price. Whatever they can sell, they will sell. And that's what happened. That's why you need to be prepared for those prices. That you need to be prepared to buy when that happened. When you see panic like this back in COVID, when the oil came down to negative prices, you have to be ready to buy. Now let's look at gold. Now gold is a different story. Now why I think gold is going higher? Now, there are some geopolitical issues going on with Russia accumulating all, gold and all the other countries too. But I mean, to me, that doesn't matter. Price action is price action. But this particular shape that is doing this chart is something called inverse head and shoulders. We have the head right here, shoulder, and let me get this one out of here. I think the shoulder is going to form here, and then we're going much higher. I think gold can make it to $2,100 an ounce, 2,200, something like that. And then, but we have a problem with gold too. If something happens next year, that there is a credit crunch, gold can go as low as $1,600 or even at $1,000 an ounce. I know that can be very, very crazy to believe that. If there's a kind of deflationary problem, pressure on the future, this easily can happen. Gold does not do good when there's deflation. Gold only does good when there is a problem with the monetary system, like when there is a out of control inflation. Now, I don't think inflation that we have is the same inflation that we had back in the 80s in the US. I think this type of inflation is different. The reason why is because there's some um, geopolitical issues going on too. Countries want to get rid of the US dollar. Now that is to be seen if they can do that, because we don't know yet. But I think there can be some deflationary pressure on the future. There's a lot of debt on the system right now. So usually when there is deflation, everything comes down in price. So now let's look at the S&P 500. On the S&P, I'm at the moment a little bearish. At the moment, I have a lower tendency for me to go down on price. How low? Probably to this conglomeration right here, somewhere on this area, which is the 3,400 points, 3,450 to 3,271, something like that, which is kind of like the pre-COVID area here. And again, the same thing. Probably it's going to go higher like this, and then it's going to collapse next year. Probably to this area right here could be, or maybe even lower to test these lows right here. Now, some people are talking about maybe the price will go much lower, but I think it will go lower, but I think it has to go higher first. Remember, nothing falls in a straight line. So let's see. We looked at oil, the Q, the Nasdaq, same thing here. Nasdaq, how low can it go? Probably the next few days it's going to go a little higher, and then it's going to go a little lower like this, which is the pre-COVID area, and then we're going higher too. Now the reason why I think it's going to go higher here is because the sentiment right now, everybody is bearish. Everybody's afraid that it's going to go much lower. So you have to trade also with sentiment. Psychology of the investors is 95% of the trade. You have to trade according to what the people are thinking. Now, right here, when we were in the all-time highs, either on Bitcoin or the stock market right here, everybody, the analysts were thinking that we were going to a little higher. Even the Wall Street Journal, they were saying that we were going much higher, like 500 points on the Nasdaq. We were at 400 points. They were thinking that we were going to the 500 point area. Well, they were wrong. So now let's look at the Dow Jones. Now, this for you guys that know what kind of shape is this. This is called the inverse head and shoulder. Another, like gold has one right now, even the Dow Jones has this one. I think in the coming days we're going to have a drop on the Dow Jones, and then this is the index that I think is going to make new all-time highs because of this shape, and also because the Dow Jones already touched this area of COVID price, pre-COVID price. You see, it already touched it right here. Let me make a line. So I think the Dow Jones Industrial is leading right now. I believe it's going to make new all-time highs, and then again next year it's going to probably drop lower, like something like this, or you can even take out the low of the on the COVID crash. Can even do that. It's very possible they can go to this area right here of the 18,000 area. Could do something like this before all is said and done. So we already look at the Dow Jones, we look at the S&P, we look at the Nasdaq, we look at gold, Bitcoin. Now let's look at the treasury yields. This is the 30-year treasury yield. Right now I'm shorting I'm shorting bonds right now. Bond yields. So I think in the short term the bond market is a little extended on the yields to the upside, so it has to relax a little bit on the bond yields, and then I believe that the interest rate will go a little higher like this, and then when the crisis starts, the yields will come down. Now remember, treasury yields and the like the TLT, the bond market, if the yields are coming down, the bonds go appreciate in price. So that's the relation that they have. In the future, I will make a video about bonds. There's some math to it, which is not very hard. It just there's some studies that you have to make in order to understand it. There are different types of bonds. There are the corporate bonds, junk bonds, treasury bonds. The bonds that I trade mostly are the U.S. Treasury bonds. They are the more liquid. If you want to buy or sell at any time, they are very liquid. So there's a lot of traders trading that particular instrument. So, but in the future, I will make a video explaining the dynamics of bonds. Well, this is Oscar for today, January the 3rd, 2023. If you like the video, please like it, subscribe, and God bless. Please be safe.